Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Blue Sports Stable here in Superior, Colorado for Sparta Sports AVM15. This event would not be possible without our sponsors, the official beer of Sparta, Modelo, Interstate Roofing, the official roofing company of Sparta, Mike Maroney Ford, the official Ford dealership of Sparta. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with our day and night of fights. Our first bout of the evening, an elimination kickboxing bout scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the Featherweight division. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, Devon Sikuka.
Fight fans, welcome to the Blue Sports Stable for Sparta Army vs. Marines 15. My name is J.R. Gordon. I'm joined by UFC fighter Drew Dober and Sparta combat veteran fighter Mr. Michael Collins. We've got a great night of fights for you this evening. Great afternoon and evening of fights, I should say. We've got boxing, we've got kickboxing, we've got Muay Thai, we've got MMA. Some titles on the line. It is the Army versus Marines event. We'll be honoring military veterans and their families. Always a great time. It's pretty much everybody's favorite show of the year. And want to say thank you for having joined us this afternoon. We're welcoming our first set of the fighters to the ring right now. We're going to start it off with some elimination kickboxing. When we say elimination in Colorado, that means amateur. And our first fighter making his way into the ring right now, it's going to be for 3 2-minute rounds. Drew, a couple of debut fighters coming up. What was it like your first time stepping into the ring or cage? You were probably, 11?
I mean, yeah, I was just out of diapers. No, I had my first fight when I was 16, and yeah, it's the nerves. It was the first time in your life that you ever experienced this amount of nervousness. And yeah, no, I'm intrigued to see how these kids go through it.
All right, up to Stewie.
Introducing his opponent out of the right corner, Dalton Quintana.
And as I referenced, Michael, you're a sports combat veteran yourself. Tell us about your first time competing.
Yeah, I just remember there was a lot of adrenaline, and when it's your debut, it's the weight backstage when you hear people starting to come in and you see people getting taped up, starting to get warmed up. You start feeling those nerves, and I remember particularly when you're in the back waiting to warm up and you hear the crowd going, oh, oh, and your heart sinks. You're like, what am I about to do?
Hear the guy in the next room cracking pads, wondering if that's your opponent. All right, we're looking at our tail of the tape here, Mr. Devon Sikuka. He's 19 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall. Came to us at 124 pounds, making his debut as a freestyle fighter. Facing off against Dalton Quintana out of Denver, Colorado. He's the 28-year-old, 5 feet 6 inch tall fighter, came in at 125, also his debut. Always a lot of high energy out of debut fighters. Look forward to seeing these guys get after it. Everybody wants to start their career off right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first bout of the evening, an elimination kickboxing bout scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the Featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the Mike Maroney Ford blue corner. He's a freestyle fighter making his debut in kickboxing. Stands 5 foot 7 inches tall, weighed in at 124 pounds. With Wild Card Fight Team from Colorado Springs, Colorado, Devon Wild Card Sikuka! Fighting out of the Interstate Roofing, powered by JRC Window, red corner. He's a kickboxer making his debut in kickboxing. He stands 5 foot 6 inches tall. He weighed in at 125 pounds. With high altitude from Denver, Colorado, Dalton Scarface Quintana! Referee Armando Castro.
Fighters, you were given instructions. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Back to your corners.
Here we go, fight fans. Army versus Marines 15. Sikuka with the blue tape on his gloves, Quintana with the red. Kickboxing fight, so they are allowed to clinch, but only for up to 5 seconds, and they have to stay busy the whole time that they are clinching. Otherwise, the referee will break them pretty quickly. No sweeps allowed.
Quintana starting off as a southpaw. You have an open stance going on. And he's doing a good job of leading with his rear hand in an open stance. I mean, that's going to be the goal.
And Quintana's kicks had some authority on him.
Both fighters seem to be kind of composed sometimes when it's their debut. Sometimes you tend to rush at each other. It can get kind of wild, but it looks like they're really staying calm, being patient, really choosing their shots.
Yeah, shows they've been putting in their time at the gym. Good sparring partners, good coaches.
It is pleasantly surprising considering this is their debut bout.
Absolutely.
Both these guys looking composed and methodical.
Yeah, very clean, good techniques. They don't seem to be overreacting.
Both fighters leaning into their knee strike game a little bit. I like to see that in kickboxing. I feel in kickboxing that's a little bit of an underutilized weapon at times.
Both fighters keeping their guard extremely low. Very rarely do you see, a kickboxing fight with a guard this low.
Stay on it. Stay on it.
And Sikuka needs to be cautious of that because Quintana's put 2 kicks upstairs already. I want to, like you said, you get those hands up a little bit.
Right there, Dalton. Nice. You're seeing it. Hey, you're seeing it. Anything like that up.
Little showmanship there.
And his corner admonished him for it, said we don't want to see anything like that. 10-second clacker sounded. Good flurry to end the round by Quintana.
Well, I'm pretty impressed with both fighters. They both stayed really calm. They look really composed.
That was a good flurry at the end there for Quintana. So I think Sikuka needs to do a better job of keeping his hands up and being a little bit more forceful with his offense. I felt like he was doing a lot of setups and wasn't really capitalizing on the things he was setting up.
Agreed. The only thing that we really saw out of Sikuka that had authority on it was that one knee strike. Otherwise, it was, like you said, Drew, trying to set things up, whereas Quintana willing to commit to his techniques. And a couple of those shots that I mentioned went upstairs. Let's see if his corner asked him to take advantage of those low hands and throw some more headshots.
Quintana looking like the more composed fighter, but, Sikuka being 19 years old, he's full of energy.
I always say that's the best cardio in the world. I'm 19. And Sikuka taking care of the water in the corner himself. No need for referee intervention. I got that. And Sikuka turned away from those strikes a little bit. I think that leg kick hurt him some, and then the upstairs strikes got to him a bit too. And again, he's turning his shoulders away.
Right, you got to be careful doing that. It doesn't always look the best for the judges to see you turning away. So you got to show composure, not turn away.
In addition to being more like offensive or securing his offense, but I think he needs to be more purposeful with his defense too. He's looking like one of those guys that works only pads and doesn't drill the defense.
Well, as a debut fighter, a lot of room to grow. That's one of the things I love about combat sports here in Colorado is I get to see fighters from early on in their careers. You and I were talking about it earlier, Drew, me watching some of your early on fights before you made it to the UFC. Good times. Oh, that leg kick
might have hurt him. Oh, looked like he might have intentionally hit him on the ground by accident.
Intentionally by accident?
Unintentionally.
I agree with you. It was unintentional. I think Quintana might get a warning for that. I doubt that there will be a point assessed.
Yeah, maybe just got his motions got the better of him there.
Yeah, but you got to know the rule set that you're fighting in, and if a guy changes his level, you don't throw a punch.
100% agreed.
Switching between Muay Thai and MMA, I had to do that very often.
Fighters saying everything's good between them. No hard feelings.
Yeah, that's good to see.
Just
Good
tried to render
sportsmanship.
you unconscious. That's all.
We can get a drink afterwards.
I couldn't quite see if the referee was signaling to the judges that he was taking a point or not.
It almost looked like it.
Yeah. And back to action we go.
I agree with you, Drew. Might need to keep his hands up a little bit higher.
I mean, his offense is looking good, but Quintana is just leading with that rear hand and really just finding a home for his combinations.
Less than 30 seconds left to go, and he has to switch stances because of that kick.
Yeah,
and immediately we can see the purple coming up on his calf.
Looks like he might try to capitalize on that. So
that left leg of Sikuka quite damaged.
right, you can see some redness.
Beautiful stabbing knee lands by Quintana. Saw the opening, set it up nicely.
Yep, again, he's going back to it. So
And Sikuka's having a hard time on that lead leg. You can see it when he took a step right afterward, as well as the couple steps walking back to his corner. And he's asking for ice on his leg. So I'm certain Quintana saw that. I bet he comes out trying to target that early in the third. Drew, if you're in Quintana's corner, you telling him to target that?
I would say he was doing his best work to that body. I think this kid's strong enough that the leg kick, will go to a decision. But if he falls up to that body again, he can find a TKO in this round.
Right on. Checking out a flurry of action on the replay. That's when they got into the corner and really decided to mix it up hard. Both fighters, again, very, very solid with their knee strikes. I'd say they're probably even in the knee striking game.
this is their debut. It'll be interesting to see who can control their adrenaline the best. We'll see if he goes back to that leg. Oh, right away.
Well, the stance is switched, so he's targeting the other leg now. Still the lead leg, but opposite side. Sikuka telegraphed that. He was trying to set up a hard punch.
Yep, there he goes. Yep, he's showing. He needs to check some of those kicks. Otherwise, he's going to keep going back to it.
Sikuka's hurt, turning away.
Yep, again with the hands down a little bit low. I agree with Drew. He needs to keep those hands up a little bit higher for me.
Heard that right hand counter from Sikuka, but Quintana took it very well.
He kind of has this karate stance and footwork going on.
And that might be where some of the hand positioning comes from as well, sort of a point karate style.
And you can hear the corner.
Somebody
Has the same sentiments.
Somebody in the crowd yelling, "Get your hands up."
With his hand that low, he needs to, start using his jab a lot more. Throwing a jab from your waist is very deceiving. Ooh, that leg kick paying dividends.
Corner of Quintana was asking for him to keep him in the corner.
Yep, again, going downstairs. I agree with you, Drew. It's really starting to pay off.
And when Sikuka's in the southpaw stance, he's taking kicks on the inside and outside of his lead leg. 10-second clacker sounded.
It's time to go for it.
Nice lean back and counter by Quintana. Gets off one more hard shot before the end of the round.
Great fight for these two.
Very good. Very good debut.
Very
fight.
nice debut, yes indeed.
Definitely a great learning experience from both guys.
Absolutely. If you're not winning, you're learning.
Quintana pretty happy with his performance, and with good reason, I believe. Judges have done their calculations. Stewie going to make his way into the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, after this 3-round battle, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored this bout 30-26 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Dalton Scarface Quintana!
Well, congratulations to the high-altitude fighter out of Denver, Colorado. Dalton Scarface Quintana gets to go home with the victory.